2, 3. Wo war?
I'm very disappointed in you, Delta. Destruction of a Fontein asset is punishable by summary dismissal. Shall I simplify that for you? Fired! Fired! Fired!
Nobody hurt my daddy!
Our hope was to bond a little sister to a single protector, so she had to be expendable in case of error. As we were fabricating a father bond, we couldn't really afford to have the girl's parents asking around. So, Fontain's orphanages provided, and the procedure was an unprecedented success. If I had only known who the child was, Eleanor, I'm so sorry.
Daddy's mad and you'll be sorry!
Little jab in the arm, and even a hopeless underperformer can be employee of the month. Oh, you should know. Look around. Is any of this familiar? The Rapture consumer is indebted to you, my boy. We ironed kink after kink out of our domestic plasmid line on you right here. Well, let's see if you're staying competitive. Step on up and take the spotlight. Where is your initiative, Delta? Why, in the old days, your antics never failed to amuse. Admittedly, this audience is lacking in joie de vivre, but see if you can't liven them up. Ladies and gentlemen, Fondeyne Futuristics invites you to shed your skepticism, evolve your expectations, and dissolve your doubt as we unveil the revolutionary power of our home defense plasmid series. May I have a volunteer from the audience? Come now, don't be shy. How about you, sir? No, he's positively rigid. Yuma, at the back. Oh, come on down. Let's give it a hand, folks. Only a single volunteer? Oh, come now, gentlemen. She'll be awfully nervous up here all alone. Come on down, all of you!
Delta and the power of plasmids! Oh dear, Subject Delta. It looks like you've upstaged a fellow demonstrator, and he's here to steal the show. What will Delta do now, folks? A winner, Delta. The tour was never the same without you. And to think you were so spliced you couldn't stand when we stuffed you into that getup. The Fontейn family retirement plan suits you to a T, my boy.
I'm not big. I'm above it. I'm not big. I'm where? Come out, some oof.
This is Eleanor Lamb speaking. It's been many years since my last diary. Mother found a way to rehabilitate me psychologically, but she can't remove this thing inside my body. I look in the mirror, and I see a freak. I remember very little. Just an artificial sense of peace and a compulsive hunger for Adam. Dr. Alexander is trying to help me adjust. He's responsible for part of my condition, but he wants to make amends.
All of this is mine, and by force or guile, he makes it so. The whole of creation is held in the relative, revolves for him alone. For the tyrant, even justice is with him. He alone is fit to weigh, to measure, and to count. This calls everything into question. Even as I recall this, I can scarcely believe. Psychiatry has been my continual study to chart consciousness in all its strata. But intelligence does not require introspection. The son of Ryan was more effective than all his self-aware rivals. He lived without questions. I could end the self and save the world.
Scum!
everyone in the plasmid business ultimately requires the use of human test subjects. It's our dirty little secret. And to be frank, Rapture doesn't really want to know, provided the end product is sound. The volunteers were scarce, even as the economy buckled. A man named Sinclair approached us with a seemingly limitless supply. He rented them to us, bound and sedated. No questions asked. Just earned you another slap on the nose, boy!
You're being
What are you?
He asks, of what use are you? Those who love him are his subject.
Please
For the tyrant
see
accepts only
password to
worship.
enter.
Or
When you're down in the mouth and life's a pain, weatherman says heavy rain.
Access denied. Please speak clearly. Automatic deactivation for 60 seconds.
Every time Ryan turns up the heat, I know I'm a little bit closer to beating him at his own game. But now the game's changing. Ryan's boys are coming in heavy, looking to knock down my door and take what's mine. Like this is the first time I had to dodge a bullet. They're coming to my house, expecting a show, but they're gonna get a disappearing act. Say goodbye to Fontейн, and hello to Atlas.
Insubordination! Severance package cancelled. Benefits rescinded.
Each new tyrant ventured here in search of conquest, Delta. Fontейн, Ryan, and now you. But every aspiring Caesar must learn to fear the knives of his fellows. Ask yourself, what does Sinclair stand to gain in guiding you here?
Agnes Day.
Access granted. Welcome.
Hello again. I must assume by now that you're willing to help end my life. In exchange, I have prepared a friendly security escort for you. Now, there's a switch in here which will allow you access to the real laboratories where what's left of me awaits you. Please, use it. I was to be Sophia Lamb's greatest achievement, a living composite of all Rapture's genius in the body of a single man, unfettered by self-interest. Now, I am nothing more to her than a failed experiment. My scores on tests of intelligence and moral reasoning are still noteworthy, but declining sharply. She has abandoned me, and I do not have long before psychosis takes me.
As I recall from my time doing business with the owners, that oxyfill station out there's just a front for a kinda hidden passage leading down below. If Lamb's hiding Eleanor from you, that's where she'll be.
I'm afraid the lights in here sting my eyes terribly now. Until you arrive to deal with me, they will remain off. Please, locate the breakers and flip them, and then return here to restore power. Sophia believes the perfect human altruist is just a formula, waiting on us to solve for X. Intelligence and consciousness are not the same, she argued. Awareness of self naturally becomes obsession with it. So, if we could suppress my sense of self, but imbue me with the cognitive capacity to serve the common welfare, we could thereby generate the first utopian. And then, Sophia said, at long last, utopia would follow. Sophia and I knew that to create the first true utopian would come at a high cost, my friend. We needed someone to be host to all that Adam, Rapture's finest minds, a willing subject, that is to say, myself. Whatever you may have seen inside the tank, that was indeed me. I fear the fate of Eleanor Lamb will be less physical, but no less grotesque. This tank for deep-sea life is the ideal way to dispose of me. But first, you must retrieve enough Adam-infused plant life to lure me out. The slugs feed on the stuff, and it's all I seem to want now. I have left a sample here, so you know what to look for.
I see you out there, Delta. You want to be top man? You want to sit in the big chair? Well, come and take it.
Well, listen, son, those override keys you've been hunting are genetically encoded. And to get to Eleanor, you're gonna need one from Alex the Great in there. First things first, we gotta pin him down. Find those plants he mentioned, and lure him back out.
Well, that's the end of the Alpha series. The pair bond simply worked too well. That madwoman Tannenbaum bit the company hand, turning some of the bonded sisters human again. Others were lost to splices. Either way, the trauma proved too much for the bonded protectors, resulting in unreasoning rage or coma. We can harness their suicidal aggression as foot soldiers, but no more, I'm afraid. Today I saw one kneeling near a gatherer's garden and crying.
We can't have you running around the laboratories in your condition.
Poor things. What a life. Marching around, playing daddy, until some splicer manages to kill off their sister. And then if the coma doesn't take them, they turn maniac. Nothing left to do but scream. No offense intended, son. We better get you to Eleanor, on the double.
Your body begins to tear itself apart. The compulsion to find Eleanor will drive you to madness or coma. You have no claim on her. Your design was among Rapture's greatest sins, and yet you persist. Why?
I'm always safe with Daddy. Smell the atom, Daddy? Over there.
Dr. Alexander has agreed to accept both measures of the new utopian project. He will become a kind of genetic chimera, host to all the minds of Rapture, accessing their talents and memories via the Adam we have gathered. And deriving in part from Project WYK, I have developed a new set of behavioral constraints. Dr. Alexander will live to promote the common good. His love and loyalty shall be spread evenly across the entire human race. For me, that is discipline at great personal cost. For him, at last, it will be instinct.
Nobody hurt my Daddy.
Shadows won't hide you for
No
long.
pointers, no!
motor! Come along, I say! You trash!
Are we gonna be together again, Daddy? We got Adam, Daddy. There's one inside, Adam inside. I'm a good girl, Mr. B. It's just a little bit.
Under my care! Mine! Okay! I don't want to hurt you. This patient has gone berserk. Have a dose of the family. I'm not speaking to you.
All done, Daddy. He's nicer than other daddies. Hi. Thank you.
For himself these days. Dog eat dog. Man eat dog. Dog eat... What the hell is that? Play it smart. You think I'm that dumb? Welcome to the circus of Sure. Why not? You keep thinking it.
Germs and the patients. Honest boy, help me find this scoundrel. My You're being heavens! Oh no! Surprise!
Bienvenido al amor nido.
Mr. Bubbles. Our angels will
Ask yourself, Mr. Meltzer, is it better to be summarily executed as an outsider caught within these grounds, or to be united not just with your daughter Cindy, but with the Rapture family as well? The choice is yours. I urge you to accept the Protector program. You will live by her side, and remember nothing beyond your love for her.
I wasn't the first to find Rapture, you crazy bitch. And I won't be the last. You do whatever you want to me. As long as I'm with Cindy, I'm a happy man.
We found it!
This is where they bound us together, Father. Playing God. You were the only good thing that Rapture ever gave me.
She was not meant to have a father, Delta. She was to be an heir to my life's work. And this is where they changed her, bonding her to you. The child she was died in this room.
Almost home again, Daddy.
Mother has destroyed Dr. Alexander. She tried to splice him into some kind of living saint who would calculate the common good and adhere to it tirelessly. But now he's become something unspeakable. Mother's philosophy is just as corrupt as Ryan's. By her standards, it would be better to have the entire world equally miserable than to allow us to strive in our own behalf. I have to get out of here.
Adam, Daddy, right there! What does all those sleeping angels? See the light in your tummy?
You're mine.
you taking me home, too?
Hello? I know you're in there. I know who you are, and you don't scare me. You can't have What are you? Get away from me! The artist!
It's dancing, Daddy! Dancing! Come on, Daddy. It's close.
Visited Eve's garden today. It ended poorly. My seed, sold to the enemy. The motive of the war as yet eludes me. But Atlas approaches. And come what may, I will not be made a slave. I wonder, in recording, do I confess? Just now, Sinclair saw me in the corridor, perhaps reading my face. The bastard looked me right in the eye and suggested I make an appointment with Dr. Lamb.
All right, sport, time to feed the fish. Head on back to Alexander's tank and put those plants in.
Poor Gilbert. It was his will to die, Delta. To serve the majority by protecting them from his lunacy. Your entire journey here is based on your refusal to do the same. Will you grant his request, knowing that he served the family?
Rebirth, huh? Sure, you live forever, but minus your body. I like my body, kid. I don't feature the idea of my memories and personality being stored in the head of some saintly child, like just one more dusty old book in the library.
oldie toy and newie toy.
We put our eldest sister through a new regimen of physical and mental conditioning and suited her up with modified protector equipment of my design. The younger ones have dubbed her a big sister. Sadly, this is a stopgap. Between rogue splicers and the aging of the girls, we'll run out of viable little sisters soon. After that, the surface may be our only source.
Right here. See it glow? Roses and sunshine mean angels. I could give you brains and ribbons.